Hello Sagittarius, welcome to a timeless justice for Sagittarius reading. Bear in mind a few things while we anticipate your reading. You more or less may have been attracted to the title that got you here in the first place. And remember that you are listening out to a collective reading held by me, 7th, that reads these energies for you, and that this is not a one-to-one personal reading. And the word justice is applied to the energies that this video is attached to, which is one of 2 channels that I run, which are sister energies of 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽𝗍 and 𝗏𝑢𝑠𝑡. This one is tied to 𝗖𝘀𝗵, and to know either of them, to be in a relationship of them, is as irrelevant and relevant to however it is that you are interested of the topic. To, however, provide some insight in justice being applicable to 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽 is that it is merciless in its delivery. Its purpose is to trigger, and to remember that within the entirety of the reading, and to just to understand it's merciless, maybe, and all that jazz. All right, so whatever brings you here, there may be something here within this reading for you. A couple things about me that reads these energies. Again, I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. I go by 7th. However, I provide remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this to gain more access or to inquire a bit more information about who and what it is that I am, or which content or what content I make available to you. All that information can be found in the description box. In regards to the reading, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, remember that femininity encapsulates feminine and masculine energies, and masculinity as well encapsulates feminine and masculine energies. All right, justice for Sagittarius. Okay, first thing I thought of before the rest of the cards came flying out was maybe it's money related, maybe it's career related. That's what I got before these cards came out. However, let's see. Some of you are in a fight to pursue ultimate justice, whether that is with a sense of purpose because someone is incarcerated and you are in the justice subject matter of dealing with that and handling that. Maybe this could also apply to never feeling that justice has been in your favor, and in the awareness of that continuing cycle is exhaustion. And however, there's a lingering hope coming from here, from the 3 of Wands. You're not giving up just yet, which is great. Yeah, you're not giving up just yet. God damn. 3 major arcanas, the Hermit, Tower, and Magician. The idea of giving up is blasphemous, I'm hearing. It's ridiculous. It's not even an option. Yeah, look at that. Fool. It's not even an option. You understand the name of the game, which is your own game. Okay. This is, at bare minimum, feeling the spiritual calling to listen out to your own adventures of your ego and making that shit make sense for yourself, because you know there's something that's mirroring back to you in the way that people love you or magnetize to you or attracted to you, that there's an appeal that they're attached to. At the same time, when you desire something to really be right here in your tangible grasp, there's something merciless about that. There's something that's off, that doesn't seem fair. Let's put it that way. Okay, it makes it feel like why you can attract other people, but when it comes to really wanting to attract that one person or that one thing, the opportunity kind of seems to be vague. It's right there, but it's like as if you grab it, it disappears. And I was just going to say, because of the Emperor and the Ten of Swords here, and the Nine of Wands, there's residual karma coming from the past life. And some of you understand that about yourself and just the everyday who you are, you know, and your own willingness to travel, your curiosities of life. You may have encroached that idea, or maybe you're against the idea and it's not possible. However, whatever it is, whatever definition it is to define it, it is something heavy. It is something that's in the way of not being able to maybe understand what is the exact choice that I have to make in order to get to shore and reach nirvana. That person that I want, that ruling that I want, that judgment that I desire. What is it? Unfortunately, without you really knowing, however, maybe knowing and dreading the concept or the idea is to heal childhood wounds. That's also another bare minimum way to start. Function with your lifetime now. If you believe in YOLO, then start with this lifetime now and go back in time. And the more you do that, the more you welcome energies you've already participated in, right? And the concept of accepting that it's the past. And you can bring the past very here in the present moment. And allowing you to do that is, in more ways than I care to explain at this moment, meditation. Okay, look at that, 10 of Wands. You're taking, yeah, it's just that spiritual ingenuity. It's that feeling pain and needing to move it. Some of you have adopted physical activity more so in your daily routine, your weekly routine, or even maybe even monthly. But it's like physical activity is exactly what you need to shimmy the chaotic thoughts in the mind that don't want to linger there anymore. They're like screaming so loud, like, get rid of me or give me an answer. And you don't know how to get an answer, so you shimmy it away. You try to like move, just body movement, which is fantastic. It's amazing. And some of that is also maybe triggered by the creative, I don't like the Three of Swords. By the creativity that, what's this? Four of Wands. It's just emotions of the heart that needs to explode out. That could also heal you. So if you don't want to go back to childhood wounds, trauma, another pattern that you could maybe look at or consider looking at is what relationship has left you emotionally depleted the most? Who is quote unquote responsible for that? And then if you're a creative person, all of us are, but whatever niche that you would accept being an artist of some kind, use that topic of that quote unquote person, that predator, and adjust the flow that comes and bring it out into your into your artwork, into your craft. So this could be, painting, this could be photography, this could be physical modeling, this could be singing, this could be acting, this could be writing, this could be anything that is an example of you. Okay, with that, what needs to be, I like how I just did that, just let it rain. That needs to like come in and detox you. maybe a good moment of, if it rains in your neighborhood, you know, or in your environment, it may be a good moment to just be outside without the umbrella and just dance in the rain, you know. We have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, I feel like a sense of purpose cannot be triggered by anyone except yourself. You can be intrigued by what you see someone else be, and whatever glow that they precipitate is what you might soak in as your own, within your own skin, and you might interpret it some way, or subliminally soak up something and understand something some way. And that's the beauty about being interconnected, in the vast differences that we have with one another and about each other, that it is such a sexy appeal, in my opinion, to have all differences at a round table and discuss. It's like, red, tell me why, you know, you're red, and like, do you fucks with being red? Like, in an orange, yo, what up, orange, yellow, sup? Like, how easy or hard is it to be yellow? Do you ever wish to be another color? You know, do you like the word yellow? Yo, green, blue, indigo, violet. And those are the 7 colors that at the baseline we can talk and we can infinitely discuss things. Whether you can see the color or not doesn't mean that there is an inability to, again, discuss things. Just because you might not like the fact that I can have a conversation about, yo, what up, yellow? What up, orange? Sup, how you doing? You know, like, it might sound silly to someone. However, yellow is love, power of manifestation and attraction that more or less probably got you here if it's saddened and bruised and not vivacious yellow. Orange is probably the reason why the vivacious yellow isn't vivacious and bright glow, because of the wounds and the bruising and the scarring that it took to create within that vortex, the womb. And although beautiful things can come from that are sustainable for however long and independent for however long, there is also something that I went through in order to be able to create that. There's things that I remember. There's things that I can create from no memory. So you can start out with simple and know that number 8 will maybe be more complex. But 8, if it starts becoming more complex, you can dissect that shit down all the way to fucking number 1. And that's the science of what circular is supposed to mean, so that when something obliterates the impurities that it's supposed to run by, that mercy is placed onto it to have it return back to more or less 0 and figure out again what to do with itself. Because at a certain stage, it became a mutant. It became a difficult other. A real other. There's turquoise, there's lavender, there's salmon shade, there's fucking gray, you know, there's black, there's white, there's cream, pearl, aquamarine, red, orange, and they all have equal value. Anyway, I digress. If you fire signs a lot, my nose has been itching. If you're doing la cocaína, stop it. Controlled substances are not the way to go. And neither is illegal drugs. In pill form. We're not talking about grass. Oh, y'all, I'm just a master healer, okay? That's all I am. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a therapist. I am to you and for you, seventh. All right. Let's get you some other layers to the story. Alright, it's just a personal one. I mean, how more personal can the emotional parts and your desires and your hopes and dreams be, right? Like, how personal can that be? It's very fucking personal. Oh, wrong deck. But this here, the Page of Cups and this, where is it? The Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups here gives me this. Whenever you feel like somebody is acting fishy around you, you just pull back, mind your own damn business. You can be in the same fucking room with this individual, mind you, but you pull yourself back and like you move. You know, you handle your own emotions. You handle. Sorry, I showed you the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups when I wanted to show you the Eight of Cups and the Page of Cups. It's knowing when you're gonna like implode of anger, or when you're really deflated and angered down by pain, that you're like, oh, I don't like this feeling, and I don't like when my body or my mind or my emotions bring me to that state of focus in a day. Because if you're then even more aware on top of that, you can realize at the end of the day, like, shit, like a quarter or half of my day really was unnecessarily difficult. And you're interested to cleanse that up, to clear that atmosphere. And maybe perhaps instill some changes within yourself. Nine of Moons. Going through the multiple stages of who you are and recognizing that. Calling out your own bullshit. Ace of Feathers. Right? Taking your spiritual self, whatever that means. It's a trigger word. Okay, spiritual is a trigger word for sure. Just like justice is a trigger word. Like it starts maybe triggering the concept of thought, and then like listening out to what story is coming from that, and seeing if your ego applies to that story. If your ego into that applies to the story, you have yourself pretty much figured out. Even if you don't understand everything, you have mastered a full circle of ability, of duality within yourself. And that opens up your mind and your eyes in more ways that you can imagine. And that makes you more advantageous, again, more or less in more ways than you can imagine, because you are conceptualizing the idea when somebody uses the trigger words of stay in your goddamn lane. Staying in your lane does not mean you don't show up for other people for service, and you know that. I mean, your social circle of friends that you hold very dearly is something that no one can take away from you. So the idea that you cannot master staying in your own lane and have fulfilling relationships is a lie. Yeah, Seven of Knives. Yeah, some people are just jealous and desire what you have and what you build, and it only takes one tiny little force of bullshit to destroy the whole entire workings of what the spider has webbed for itself, and how prosperous that quality is that just destroyed the webbing of the spider. The spider's hard work and time went into that, and maybe someone's ignorant or innocent or naive finger came and destroyed it. And then there's like markets out there who understand silk is fine royal quality. Anyway, Wanderer of Nines. So no matter how many people try to poke your webbing, you'll always hold people accountable for who and what they are and however they want to represent themselves. I think some of that responsibility of awareness may also need to teach you when to learn how to let people go. You only need really one sign that someone did some harm. It doesn't mean that it was their first time, right? Or nor does it necessarily indicate it might be their last. It doesn't mean it cannot be, but that cannot be defined by you. That can only be defined by the person. Does it teeter the line of how difficult it is then to understand the boundaries of when someone will decide to be the change that they say that they're going to be? Of course. That's what's the growing pains of life. However, what's interesting is if you follow your intuition like you have, and you are in the compared to the within the conversation of zodiacs, you are the alchemist of the zodiacs. If you follow your intuition, you understand the magician's approach to the magical ways of more or less thought, and then maybe secondary application, and third analyzation of the process. The process of the intuition is not very singular. It's not very linear. It's multidimensional. And it can give you an offset suggestion on how to more or less deal or handle a person or a situation, because it's focused on you, on what you need, on what you want, and what you desire. Even if you don't understand it yet, even if some of the adventures are like just stepping stones forward or half step back, they're all valuable lessons to a journey tread, whether stagnant or in motion. So becoming aware of this allows you to learn of the applications of what brought you to who you are in any stage of your wisdom, and apply that an analytical blueprint on others. Not because of prejudice, not because of judgment, yet because of your own awareness, and see within their own being what they trigger with your blueprint of awareness, and then critique that. That will let you know if, you seeing them on Monday is what you needed to fulfill. That if you usually see them 5 days out of the week, you're not saying no to the energy by just giving them a Monday. Okay? It gets complicated because only you can decide which verbal contracts you put yourself in. Okay? Yeah, only you know the verbal contracts you put yourself in. Whether you truly know or not, this is your third eye that is more or less charged in providing the cocktail that you need for your intuition to be. You don't need to have a consciousness awareness of what even a third eye is, regardless. It's as irrelevant as knowing as you have a heart, and you maybe not being a cardiologist, okay, or a heart surgeon, to know that you have one, and that it's very provocative and very important and all that jazz. It doesn't diminish every other argument for any other organ that you may or may not know to have. Okay, so in this stage of the game, and as of lately, and we're not concerned about the future, how long, is you're learning your own temperament and your own triggers, and how other people come in and offload their bullshit to you, and what that affects you, and how you maybe need to learn again qualitative friendships, qualitative relationships, starting with family, starting with self, starting with strangers. And that can really cover the wellness spectrum of any problematic relationships that may exist in regards to platonic, romantic, co-worker, career, family, self, and all that jazz. Neighborly. Okay. All right. Let's get you some. Okay. All right. We have Black Moon Lilith, Power, number 35. So again, that's a beautiful admittance that the sister energy of Sekhmet, at least Baset's energy, which, because I'm seventh, I give credit to that energy, the Jaguar being right there in the pursuit of giving you permission to accept all aspects of yourself, the pros and cons, and that light manifests due to darkness. All the colors that we discussed about of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet come from a black box of all possibilities, which is not in the absence of color, the capitulated density of what you see here, and we deem it as darkness. It's actually purple, intuition, Pisces. That keeps the fire alive within you, which is the light of all, which is, it diminishes that there is anything black and white, yet only color. Starting with thyself. All right. That is all that I have for you at this time. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.